It's been nearly 5 years since the disappearance of Gabby Petito captured the world's attention, and her story continues to echo across America. This isn't just a true crime case. It's a reflection of our culture, our media, and how we confront domestic violence. Now, in 2026, new developments and critical conversations are reshaping our understanding of what really happened. Welcome to Arcane Echo True Crime. Today, we're diving deep into the Gabby Petito case, exploring everything new, verified, and impactful. We'll look at evidence that was once overlooked, her family's ongoing mission for justice, and why this story still holds such a powerful grip on the nation. The biggest question remains: what does this case teach us about the danger that can hide behind a perfect smile, and why did it send shockwaves through the entire country? Let's rewind to the summer of 2021. 22-year-old travel vlogger Gabby Petito and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, were on a cross-country van life adventure. Their social media was filled with breathtaking photos and happy videos, painting a picture of a dream journey. But behind the scenes, a different story was unfolding. The first public sign of trouble came from Moab, Utah, when police responded to a domestic dispute call. The now infamous body cam footage showed a visibly distressed Gabby, crying and trying to explain their fight, while Brian appeared calm, almost detached. It was a chilling preview of the tragedy to come. By late August 2021, Gabby's vibrant social media presence went dark. Her mother received a strange text that read, "No service in Yosemite." But the wording felt off, unlike Gabby's usual style. The alarm bells truly started ringing when Brian Laundrie returned to their home in Northport, Florida, on September 1st, alone, in their shared van. Gabby was nowhere to be found. Her parents filed a missing person report, igniting one of the most intense, social media-fueled searches in modern history. The nation watched, waited, and hoped. On September 19th, those hopes were shattered. Gabby's remains were discovered in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. The coroner's report was devastating. Her death was a homicide caused by blunt force trauma and manual strangulation. By this point, Brian Laundrie, the sole person of interest, had vanished. He disappeared shortly after returning to Florida, sparking another massive manhunt. Weeks later, his skeletal remains were found in the murky waters of the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. Near his body, investigators discovered a notebook. In its pages, Brian had written what authorities described as an admission to killing Gabby. His death was officially ruled a suicide. The case was, in a legal sense, closed. But for the public, and for Gabby's family, the story was far from over. Fast forward to 2025 and 2026. The public's fascination with the case hasn't faded. In February 2025, a major Netflix documentary, American Murder, Gabby Petito, premiered, bringing the case back into the spotlight. The documentary went beyond the headlines, analyzing text messages and personal accounts to reveal a pattern of emotional abuse. It showed how Brian may have manipulated evidence, even staging text messages from Gabby's phone to himself to create a false alibi after her death. Even more recently, declassified FBI documents have given us a haunting new perspective. A handwritten letter from Gabby to Brian was released, in which she pleaded for emotional respect. The letter paints a chilling picture of the repeated emotional harm she was enduring, a dynamic that was completely hidden from the public who only saw their adventurous online personas. This new evidence forces us to re-examine the early days of the investigation and question what signs were missed. The case also ignited a fierce debate about media bias. Critics rightfully pointed out the phenomenon of missing white woman syndrome, where Gabby's story received wall-to-wall coverage, while cases of missing persons from minority communities often go unnoticed. Online, citizen detectives and social media communities dissected every detail, every photo, every clip of body cam footage. Some argued that police missed crucial warning signs during the Moab incident. Others speculated endlessly about Brian's motives, and many criticized the sensationalism that turned a human tragedy into online entertainment. So, where do things stand in 2026? There are several key developments. First, Gabby's parents, Nicole and Jim Schmidt, have channeled their grief into action. They travel the country, speaking at events and conducting trainings to raise awareness about domestic violence. They've transformed their personal tragedy into a national mission to save others. On the legal front, the family's wrongful death lawsuit against the Moab, Utah Police Department is moving forward. After being dismissed initially, the case is now headed to the Utah Supreme Court. This raises critical questions about law enforcement's responsibility and whether a different response that day could have changed the outcome. Culturally, the 2025 Netflix documentary has sparked a re-examination of the evidence. People are now looking at the case through a new lens, one that's more informed about the subtle signs of coercive control and emotional abuse. And through their foundation, the Petito family is focused on public education, teaching young people and parents about the red flags in relationships, ensuring that Gabby's legacy is one of prevention and hope. The Gabby Petito case became more than just a crime story. It was a cultural phenomenon. It unfolded in real time, at the intersection of social media, traditional news, and public participation. Millions of people weren't just watching. They were actively involved, sharing tips, theories, and demanding answers. It was a first in modern true crime history. But this unprecedented level of public engagement also forced us to ask uncomfortable questions. When does online sleuthing cross the line into obsession? When do we scroll past a story? And when do we have a responsibility to act? And who really benefits from all this attention? As we continue to analyze these events in 2026, those questions are more relevant than ever. The Gabby Petito case was a tragedy, but it was also a turning point. It changed how America talks about, watches, and reacts to stories of missing persons and domestic abuse. The story is still evolving, still teaching us, and still inspiring a crucial, ongoing debate. If you want more deep dives like this, where we separate documented fact from speculation, make sure you subscribe to Arcane Echo True Crime and hit that notification bell. And let us know in the comments, what is the most important lesson America should take from the Gabby Petito case? Thanks for watching.